Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot.
What's going on, people? Fam Entertainment from level1gamer.com. Congratulations, you guys are leveled up to 153. This is a double XP podcast. Listen, we're going to talk big lady who sits on Floor Hugger's chest today at some point. We're talking people who like, it's true. It's true. Hugger will let it happen. We're going to talk reviewers playing games, but playing games, not finishing them, and putting a review out. Baron, you okay? And a bunch of other stuff. We're going to start with the introductions first. Let's talk about to the man. He's no longer to my right. He's sort of like up and to the right a little bit. But the man with the clamps, Citizen Snips. He's muted, by the way.
Are you actually? I'm sorry, I'm in shock. Are you telling me that for the first time since like I've joined the show, I'm not in the same spot I'm always in, or did you move?
No, it's the new overlay, so we don't have assigned seats anymore.
I don't know how to live anymore.
So now you get to sit next to Dallas.
Anyways, good to be back. Kind of like it's good to be back here, but I'm angry. And at some point in today's show, y'all will find out why. It's got nothing to do with y'all, though. I love y'all. I'm just angry. I have rage boiling within me because of video games and the crap that they do. So I want to talk about that at some point.
Make sure we protect the Capitol at all costs. The non-threatening voice at level1gamer.com, the communications director, the man who's pretty much a WXP podcast member, but he don't want to admit it just yet, but it's going to happen. Baron J67, what's going on, Chief?
Hi, guys. How you gonna end up that joke and then roll over to me, my goofy ass? I can't keep this, man. Come on. Look, first and foremost, folks, look, open your goddamn emails. Check them. Because I'm in there lurking. That's what I said. Dude, hey, we got to do like WWE like announcement, like full blown. Like, yeah, I'm coming for your PR people. I'm gonna meet up with them.
I'm glad
and they're gonna give me the codes.
That was the next.
They're gonna give me the review codes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Was that like a Macho Man, Randy Savage?
Kinda. It was a mix between Macho and Booker, but we know what he said on camera last time.
Next up, my right hand one man, Slim Hugger. What's going on, sis?
Not much. Expect a ton of Lady Demetrescu, and I'm saying Demetrescu memes tonight because I'm on that dumbass train, obviously, and can't wait. Got our guest here, and let's get into it, y'all.
Next up, DALLAZ. Man,
dang, I missed it. Man, what's happening? I hate how Fame always just be trying to block my shine like that. Like, I'm just trying to show them how we be in sync like Justin Timberlake, and you out here.
I blocked the shine. Me? See, that's why you don't trust black people. This is why you don't trust.
Trip me up. Like, damn,
I'm about to turn into a colorist. That's what's back to happen today.
Oh my God! too early.
It's too soon. My bad.
Right on time.
Too soon. My bad. My bad.
And all of that.
Too
Right
soon.
on gosh darn damn time. But look, man, every time we get together, it feel like it's been too long. And then we got Kate up in this mug. I already know it's going to be some nonsense and tomfoolery, whoever the hell Tom is. So let's get it.
That poor guy.
Not only is she from this place, but she's probably joined this podcast and was like, but why though? But why did I do this? Why did I decide to come on this podcast? Kate Sanchez from But Why Though. What's going on, sis?
Hi, thank you for having me. I would also like to be stepped on by Lady Demetrius. But I will get on that train which she drives or she can drive me. That's fine.
Hey,
Trying to kill me?
You're training the same sentence. Keep your pants on.
Yo, it's about to be a
I
night.
think we both know where we're gonna be.
It's about to be a
Is
night.
that a good intro? Did I finish?
That was perfect.
Yeah.
You
a
are
little too well.
you are definitely double XP. You are. It is.
She's gonna replace me now.
She made me choke.
Whoa! Whoa!
Just like Lady Demetrescu will choke me later.
I got a question with the stepping on thing. Is it like, what is the appeal there? Is it like the pain? Is it a pain thing? Because I'm kind of heavy.
It's because
I can
she's
step on
mommy.
somebody if y'all want. I know
You're
I'm
not daddy.
I'm not Lady Demetrescu, okay? But I can offer an alternative. $5.99. I'll come to your house, step on you. I don't know.
Kevin, do you secretly want to step on chest, Kevin? Is that like a thing?
I'm looking at alternative revenue streams for the website. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
that is
help us
just
out.
mostly fans.
We need some money
Other
coming
people.
in.
Only not only fans.
OnlyFans.com/Baron666.
Oh no.
I just want to point out Lady Demetrescu is almost a full another me on taller than me, so she doesn't even have to do much work to step on me. She could
She
just.
wouldn't step on you; she'd step over you.
I would hit her knee. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but come back.
My favorite part is when somebody say something crazy, right? Just as somebody's coming in the chat. So like they click and then you hear Demetrescu and Train in the same sentence and they're like, what the hell? That's my favorite part.
Hey, but can we take a break and like talk about how Resident Evil has been marketing that image of Lady Demetrescu looking like her neck is being used?
Bro, they need to chill with that. Barry posted it. I said, who made this? I thought it was a
I
mod.
look at that quite a few times to be like, I'm sorry. What is
I'm
that?
like scrolling through Twitter, minding my business, and then I'm like, oh, that's real.
Baron,
Oh.
go to
He had
the
to double-check
Resident
what
Evil
site he was
TikTok
on.
and
He's
go
like,
see
wait.
how much Resident Evil TikTok needs to goddamn chill because they are on their shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you need to
Doubling
stop.
down on the nasty.
Listen, before we get going, number one, if you guys are watching right now, please do us a big favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And please share the stream out on social media, Twitter, Facebook. It helps us out a whole bunch. Before we get into the topics, we do have a guest, and we'd like to spotlight our guest when it's their first time on the show. So I would like to know, everyone would like to know, who is Kate Sanchez, what is But Why Though, and how you got into reviewing and things that you're doing with, as far as the film side and gaming side. Who are you, and how did you get into your business?
So I actually weird journey. I'll start at that. I was actually a PhD student who decided to leave because of racism and sexism, and then I was like, yo, I still like talking about things and talking to people about things. Because my degree is actually in sociology and anthropology. So what I did was I looked at like how people form identities through popular culture. That's fancy talk for I read 315 comics and then wrote a thesis on it. And I essentially, out of that, I started my podcast, But Why Though, which every week we pick a different pop culture topic and talk about how it impacts society, fandom, all that type of stuff. And then in 2018, we just decided, hey, maybe we should write. And we opened it up to a call for writers, and it went really, really well. And now we've been around for, I don't know math, I think it's 3 years.
Nice.
And we started out with pretty much just me writing in every section. And now I get to kind of focus on the stuff that I love, which is really animation, film, and manga, and then games. That's kind of where I sit. But our site specifically, But Why Though, is a entertainment website that focuses on everything. So books, comic books, video games, manga, anime, movies, TV, film, literally everything, down to interviews. Like I have a real dope interview with Sam and Adam Dietz, the directors on Castlevania out that just came out yesterday.
Awesome. I will link that for you guys in the description so we can make sure you guys check that out.
Thank you. It's my proudest moment because I got to talk about how horny Castlevania is with the people who made it. But yeah, that's what we do. And the cool thing about us is like we are specifically and intentionally a diverse group of folks. Because my thing is when I started trying to write and try to get opportunities, it was hard. So it turned into, you know what, if it's going to be hard for me, it's going to be harder for other people. So I'm just going to make a platform and do what I can to uplift the people around me.
Beautiful.
So we do it all from a diverse perspective.
See, that's beautiful.
Puppy!
Oh, Shikamaru.
Tomorrow they talking to you.
Hey, man,
Bro,
don't
he
hold
farts
him
right
up
now, I'm gonna
like,
die.
Like you don't slander this dog on a regular
I
basis.
slander him regularly, but every time I see the meme, I have to bring him up so
Man.
people know that they're talking about
He
me.
be showing his
No.
dog OnlyFans on air.
Whoa.
Look at him, too. He's
Also,
got that face like, I don't know why you slander me.
If you guys are in the chat right now, can you please timestamp where Kate said she wants to be stepped on, because I may need to put that up on social media later.
I have a feeling you'll get multiple chances to clip that. I don't think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
right?
a
I
one and
love
done.
that.
We in this, all right?
Chakalaka came in. He said once he
God,
came in, the
we
first
were.
thing he heard was Kate saying she wanted to be stepped on. Like that's the first thing he heard. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a good
I
day.
have a whole symbol.
You know where he at.
Like characters I'd like to yell at me or step on me. Like,
Right?
let's go.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear it.
Maybe it's just me. I don't want to be stepped on by nobody. Like, get your feet off of me. Like, I don't understand it.
Bear, look
Fame?
at Bear.
You
Look at
gotta
his
be
face.
pretty.
You know
though.
what? Stepping on is a nice way to just say to them, I just want them to take me to Pound Town and around the bend and then back to Pound Town again. But it's a nice way to say it.
Throw me around a little bit.
Oh,
Mm.
Lord,
Right.
Eat me
Kitty,
like
I'm
that
not picking that
vanity.
laptop.
Yep.
Lord.
Like, they know what they're doing when they released that, her throwing that vanity. I was like, God, I wish that was me.
They know
I have
exactly what
also
they was doing.
binge watched all 3 seasons of Castlevania in the past 2 to 3 days. So I'm sorry you can blame Powerhouse for what you're getting today. Because
Mhm. I mean, if we had some Bayonetta news recently, I wouldn't stop with that either. So
You'd be drooling all over your keyboard right now, okay?
Bayonetta's Bay, man. Oh,
It's in her name. Bayonetta.
Bay. Dallas, I love you.
oh my God, somebody please redo the cover, but with that as the spelling.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, we'll shout you out
God.
if you do it. Send it to Level 1 Gaming's Twitter.
Yeah, and shoot it to my DMs because I may need it for personal reasons. To blow it up into a poster to hang on my wall. Fame doesn't know what to do with us right now.
Jesus.
I'm gonna
I'm just-
apologize. That went from I'm a scholar to step on.
Man, talk about code switching.
I mean, that's what scholars are.
For real.
I
For
love
We
real.
it.
understand. You understand why you want to be stepped on, though. That's the difference.
Scholars
There's a
are just
reason.
horny people with a good vocabulary. That's all it is.
The real smart people
Very
are just good at
stupendous.
making you think they know how to act.
I photosynthesize with that. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to y'all in the
Ooh.
chat, man. Trevor, Hustle, Chakalaka, Jay, Ella. I've been saying Ella a lot, man. She's like a really cool
What's up,
person.
Ella?
I definitely want to connect with her because she's like super cool. But listen, I do want to jump right into this first. I thought it was super important and a dope topic, especially having Kate here because she kind of understands the cringe that comes with this topic. So apparently, it's okay to review video games without completing them. I don't want to, link this person or website they write for, but in my opinion, I'm gonna give this and I'm gonna go to y'all. Okay, to me, it's number one, it's misleading and it's disrespectful to put out a review of a title that you haven't completed. Now, I'm gonna give you. There are some exceptions because some games just don't necessarily end in a way. But there has to be like the best excuse in the world. And I'm sorry, if you work for a big publication, you got time. You chose not to complete the game because you didn't want to.
So I would actually push back on that.
Okay.
So especially when you look at heavily I don't say barricade is the easiest way to say games like Cyberpunk.
That's an exception.
So it's an exception, but it does happen a lot to people who know what they have on their hand. So I would say there does have to be some grace given to, and this is obviously different, right? Because like there's a different ass scale for things. You have people who have to buy their own games to review them, and you're kind of on your own clock, but you still got to compete with people putting stuff within a certain time frame. And then you have the big publication people who obviously automatically get the code because they're with the big publication. But that also means they have a strict deadline they have to hit to get paid.
Yes.
And so what a lot of publications, if they're not, there are two different things. I think that you should play enough of a game to understand what it is and how it functions. If it's a story-based game, you need to complete the whole thing. If it's an open world game, you need to traverse at least 90% of the zones and areas to understand the mechanics in which you're talking about. Like, there are different levels to it. But if you're going to publish something not having gotten to even beyond halfway, include it at the start of your thing, saying, I have only played this much because of these restrictions. These are my first impressions. This is a review in progress.
Thank you. I'm about to say that's a term that we have in this industry called review in progress. And I think people are so, because I'm not going to lie. Back when Baron first came to Level 1, when he was a reviewer, I would say, hey, Baron, I'm sorry, bro. We got like a week before the game embargo lifts. That's when I need it. And like he would knock it out, but I felt bad. You know, I'm like, oh crap, I got it too late. And then Huggers had some reviews before where she ran low on time, and she did a review in progress, or she did a first look style thing. I think it's hard for me to have someone, let's say, I'm sorry, let's take Cuphead for example. It was a difficult game, and you're not getting through the game, and you give it a score instead of a review in progress. Like, to me, that's definitely an issue.
That's really fair, and it's unfair to the game itself too, because you can't take back Metacritic scores. Like, once the Metacritic score is out, and if you're scoring a Metacritic, you don't get to take that back. It's out there in the wilds, and you got to live with it. And so I think it's unfair if you're from a publication that is large enough, or not large, because we're on Metacritic, we're not that large, but like, if you have that type of weight, you better make sure what you're putting forward is a review that is going to help people who are playing the game, but also is respected to the company. That said, companies need to know what they have and give reviewers enough time. If you are going to give them a game that is extremely hard and that is like a Soulsborne, but hasn't been marketed as a Soulsborne, then you're gonna get, like, it's easy to say it's just on the journalists, but these companies need to give longer periods of time for these games if they know that it's going to be
more than a week.
So like, integrity, yes, but also the companies reap what they sow. You give people a week, you're going to get a week's worth of play.
Because I'm not gonna. Baron said it more than a week, and I know exactly what he means, because that's a big, high-profile title that people are gonna be loving and playing, and people are only gonna have a very short amount of time to review it, and it sucks because
a very large game.
Even though I don't see other sites as competition. I look at Level 1 as we're our own competition. If you look at people as competition, you're gonna get yourself in trouble, right? But when it comes to review scores, the people who get it out the earliest usually gonna reap the most benefits from it, and that's why everyone tries to get it out as early as possible. Because if you miss and you put a review out 2 weeks after it released, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna care. But Baron, I know you got thoughts about this. That you chimed in with that week thing, and I know on Adventure of the Black Nerds, which I need to link the Adventure of the Black Nerds in here as well. You guys talked about this, but I do want to get your thoughts on this as well.
Kate said it best. It's a multifaceted issue. I personally, I'm not. Whenever I do a review, if I don't complete the game, or if it's an early access game, I'll call it a early impression. I won't throw a score on it. I'll give a perspective like, hey. I'll give I ain't got no sense, man. I'll give an early impression, and I'll give early thoughts on it, and I'll tell you, like, I'll give a feel of the game and who I think the game would be for. But we honestly, that whole week thing, they need to get away from that. I understand why they want to do it. Like, you don't want stuff to get leaked. You don't, da 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 da. But let's be honest, we seen stuff get leaked like crazy. What's coming up in a couple of days? Was it at Resident Evil?
They broke
like
that embargo.
Yeah, people. I seen pictures of in Walmart, like on the shelf. People had pictures of Resident Evil, and it's so. Let's. You're not gonna. It's the internet. Now, I'm not saying open the floodgates, but a week for a very large open world game, that's not fair.
Mind you, we are appreciative to be able to even receive.
Yeah.
1000%. But
1000%.
Man, a week is
1000%.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, if we keep, because and obviously, like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, we should, like, I don't like the people who, do you know who I am? Give me a code, whatever, go away.
Yeah.
But like, so being humble is important, but at the same time, PR companies, they need to actually give us the tools to do our job. Because if they don't give us those tools, they're not the ones getting added on Twitter. They're not the ones getting harassed. We are. And so it has to be a give and take. It is because I deal with it in film all the time. Like, and film's a little bit different because obviously it's like a 2-hour movie, not too bad. But I've also dealt with it in TV where they give me a whole season, 2 days. And they're like, embargoes at midnight. Good luck. It's like, enjoy. What the hell? But it is one of those things where, like, for all of those, and it's scary to do it, but I will always respond. Like, I will try to have this out of the embargo, but this did not fit to the content timeline. There's a lot here. It will probably be a little late. And like, myself, my site, my writers, we try to get at embargo every time because just like what you said, that matters. But at the same time, like, it's such a hefty lift because we have to become not just somebody who played the game and wrote about it. We have to become experts in that game because when people come, assuming the worst in people, if they come at us online for our review, we have to be able to defend our work. We have to be able to defend our position. We have to be able to prove our knowledge. And if game companies aren't setting us up for success, we're not going to keep spreading the word about their game. We're going to do our review and it's done. It's going to go to the review and we don't talk about it anymore because I don't want to get pulled into that conversation. It helps them to help us, essentially.
Another fellow review. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right.
No, I mean think about
what was this hand motion?
Did you do like the Jeff Goldblum laugh from Jurassic Park?
Because I'm trying to be professional here, okay? But and then you see the tassels and the pugs and the things. But okay, I forgot what I was going to say now. Guys, I've been burned.
You good?
You might need to see a doctor for
I'm done. Yeah.
Okay, no, because I wanted to go over to Hugger because Hugger also does. She does more retrospective style reviews, but she's done some of our bigger reviews on our site. So I want to get Hugger's thoughts on this as well because I mean I've seen Hugger use review in progress before.
Yeah, actually, the first big review that we ever did, I put a review in progress because it was Mortal Shell, and I got it 2 days before it was supposed to come out. And it's only like a 5-hour game, but I cannot play Soulsborne to save my life. Good game, but I put it in a review in progress. And when I do my retrospectives, I don't believe on putting a number on a 15-year-old game most of the time. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, you can't expect us to knock out a 100-hour game in a week when we still have life to live. These companies, it feels like they hate us, but also they rely so much on us. I'm so grateful that they give us these options and these things to try, and we try our best, but it happens sometimes that we can't make it.
You got to keep in mind, though, a lot of people are doing like your retrospectives. I know for a fact take a long time to put together. Like anybody doing video reviews, it takes a long time to put together. All of my stuff comes out. All my videos are like super short, like 5 minutes at the most. You might get a 2-minute review from me. Everything is said. Like I said, I don't, like you said, you don't score them. I don't score mine. I'm very clear on whether or not I think you should buy it. I make sure I touch on all the mechanics and let you know just everything that's in the game without spoiling anything if I feel like you need to experience it for yourself. But those videos take a long time to do. Like lip syncing takes a long time to do.
And
It's
you
very
have an exception, Dallas, because your reviews are more entertainment based. Like you're looking to get people, give them their knowledge, looking to make them laugh. So I think you have a big exception to where, like, hey, like Dallas isn't going to give you a review, but he's going to tell you things you need to know. But he's really here to make you laugh and have a good time. Because
it's mostly for entertainment, and that's true, but only partially because there is some pressure to get it done and out while the conversation is still going on.
Yeah. Because you'll get buried. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
the last thing you want is someone working hard on a review and they busting their butt in there. Because Chocolaka, shout out to Chocolaka. I mean, he talk about embargo time. And embargo will be up at 6 a.m. Central Time, and he's sending a message at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, my review is ready, and I'd be like, yo, like, so I'll try to get up like early in the morning and edit it and try to get it up to make embargo date. But it's and Chocolaka, but man, he's such a good guy, man. I've done him bad so many times. I'm like, bro, they just gave it to me. I'm sorry, they just gave it to me.
He did do you dirty because he did donate the last $64, and then Jeff Grubb did you even dirtier, saying now you have to go play Sekiro. So
yeah, that was a thing. I'm not necessarily happy about it.
So you getting them cheeks clapped live for the kids because of Chocolaka. I mean, I do have to play 2 horror games.
Somebody gonna kiss me first. Take me out.
Your wife.
Buy him some dinner.
Buy me a dinner. Can I get a McDouble at least?
I mean,
boy, y'all
ask from software.
Snips, I know you're not a reviewer, but do you have any thoughts on this subject?
I mean, to summarize it briefly, it's kind of like what Kate said. It comes down to your disclosure. So if you didn't finish the game, tell me that and tell me why. Like, I'm totally okay if you started playing a game and you hated it and you're like, I stopped playing this game because I hate it. Here's my review of what part I did play and why I hated it.
And that's
great.
valid.
That's your opinion.
It's
okay, you did a review. But if you like try and pass it off like you played the whole thing and just hope nobody notices, then you're lacking integrity and it's stupid and you shouldn't be reviewing games.
It reminds me of when I think it was Entertainment Weekly put out their review for The Witcher. And The Witcher gave us the first 5 episodes, and then you had to watch the other 3 at 2 a.m. Central, so you could get your full season review. And with film and TV, it's okay if you write a season so long as you've watched the majority of the show, which I still think is dumb, and I don't do it, and I don't like my writers to do it because a lot can change in 1 episode or 2 if Game of Thrones is anything to be seen. And so that happens a lot. But like theirs, they didn't even watch the 5 episodes, and they posted like 5 different pieces about the 3 episodes they had watched, and they hated it. And I was like, if you had just watched episode 5, it solved all the problems that you just listed for the first 3, and you get paid money. I get no money because I give my money to my writers because I own the site. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like you have to make the executive decision, and sometimes, actually all the time, it is okay to say you don't know, and it is okay to say, you know what, didn't finish it. Everybody will understand. I just got to lead with that. And that's the important thing, like overall.
Just imagine being a developer and you have a story that can be a bit convoluted, but once you get to it, you're like, oh my God, everything I did makes sense. Yeah. And so when you see the review and they talk about in the review how the story made no sense, you're like, now wait a goddamn minute. You didn't finish the game, right? Sir.
Imagine somebody playing Metal Gear Solid 5, say, and not getting to the end. You don't have that's not even a part of the conversation because you don't know what was cut off. Like you can't really tell that the game wasn't finished. I'm doing quotes, but it really wasn't finished.
I think we also need to be like hella suspicious of some of these bigger companies, especially I will say, and this game got a lot of shit for me, is Cyberpunk, because there was so many people that you could tell they kind of got like kickbacks.
Well,
it's
but
like-
not even kickbacks though. Like the way that they rigged that was all of the reviewers who reviewed it first were on PC.
PC.
They released no console codes. So it wasn't even just kickbacks to talk good about my game. It was, we're going to give you the best version of my game, and that will be what you publish on embargo
and a chair.
for like 3 days.
You get
And a chair, yeah.
too.
So like I don't know. I don't go down that road because like press packages get sent all the time and a good reviewer won't take it. And a lot of the times the people who like the influencers who get that stuff, most of the time they're not critics anyway.
Yep.
If you want me to be real honest.
Hey, you ain't lying.
But just the way CD Projekt Red manipulated the entire review cycle by only allowing PC play, which was the best version of that, to be scored and then drove sales, that was what was wrong in that scenario. And that shows you how much, because we got a review code, but we got it like 3 hours before it went live for Xbox.
Jesus.
And so my reviewer, we didn't get up anywhere on embargo. We didn't get up even like within like the first couple of days, because you can't review that game on a couple of games of plays, and then it kept crashing.
Yep.
And so it was one of those where they were like, I'm gonna review it in 3 days, and then they were like, oh, it's been 3 days, but I actually can't get more than 2 hours of play at a time because this game crashes. Can I get an extension? And I was like, that's fine.
Jesus.
And so then it turned into something else, and that's really something that I think more gamers need to be aware of, is how review cycles can be manipulated by a company.
And also, they didn't get to have pants through most of that either, because the game just took their pants away.
Yeah.
Happened to me.
It was
But
big, swanging all out.
Like, at what point do you stop being scared of the world though, and just like take your time and put something good out? Like how important is that actually?
Very. Because it's a business. Like it'd be different if it was just a blog spot. Then I got you. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. This is my blog spot. I'm here. I want to take the 2 weeks I need to properly beat this game and get this detailed written review and video out. But let's be honest, unless you already have built that cult following, you will get nowhere, and it will fall on deaf ears. But it'll be created. I'm all for creating videos and art and stuff that'll never be seen by the masses. I'm all for that. I got a whole YouTube page filled of it. But at the same time, this is the business part of it, and that's the thing that sucks. And that's why I get what Kate was saying. Like, I like the whole idea that it's on all sides, because you give me a week, but then Lord knows my website needs the traffic. There hadn't been much games at that point. Think about it. There wasn't any major releases. Traffic had died down. Everybody kept repeating about how nobody can find a console, and we're still living in those days. And then all of a sudden, the biggest game of the last 12 years, was it 12 years or 8?
They sold it like it was the biggest game ever in the
No, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you can't even, business-wise, you cannot afford to do that, because there was no, like, it sucks.
There was nothing.
Bro.
Yeah. Like,
it sucks.
You're completely right, because it's not about being scared. It's about, this is a business that I'm running. At the end of the day, I have to be able to secure games for my writers. And in order to get those codes, embargo is a big piece of it. You have to promise that you will have something out the moment embargo hits.
Get blacklisted if you want to.
They're not going to care.
Man.
You get a game and they don't care when they give it to you, but don't produce it. Yeah, good luck ever getting something from that publisher developer ever again. And you
can be upfront, like, hey, we're not going to get an embargo, but we're going to do it over here. Guess what? You'll be in the 3rd round of codes. And when you're doing something that, because for me, and the way I see it, like, my site isn't to make money for me. It isn't to make money for itself. It's to make money to put back into my community, to pay the people who are doing the work for the site. And in order to do that, I can't just say, F this company, I don't want to abide by their rules. I want to, but I can't. Because it is not about me in that moment. It is about what I can give to my writers, and it is what will help my writers succeed and go forward. And that's the big thing. So it's less about fear, more about, like, it's kind of just a game you have to play. And unless there's any give or take, it's the position that we're in. And also, if you're doing written content, you're already at the low end of the totem pole. They already don't want to give us keys because they want to give keys to people who stream
to the
it.
YouTubers and the Twitch streamers. Yep, that's where they want the codes to go to. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember.
I see a lot of creatives stop doing reviews because I understand where you're coming from, Dallas. Let me do my art. These companies don't care about your art. They just want you to do what they want. As much as I'm with Kate, as much as I'd be like, hey, go eat a D, you can't tell them that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there needs to be a balance. Because at the end of the day, if you get a code for an open world game a week before embargo, they have to try to get something out in a week, and they got a life too. They got to work. They got blah blah blah, all this stuff going on. Where's the balance?
Now we've had a couple of reviews that didn't make embargo, but before Baron became communication director, I was the one sending emails, and I would go to the PR people and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to need another 24 hours." And most of the time, especially when it comes to smaller development teams, they are okay with it. It's more about how much. It's more about how much traffic do you want on your site. Because the later you get it out, the less traffic you will get. But those development teams, those PR people are usually cool with it as long as you are talking to them. Don't make them go out and search you for their content.
Facts. That's when I think it's on us as content creators, as writers, as reviewers, as whatever we want to call ourselves. Like that's when it's on us to like. For me, I had to do something different. And granted, I give it everything I got to get something out when it needs to be out. But I had to do something different. Like I can't just do a normal ass regular, like talk about the game, give it a score review, and think that somebody's supposed to care about that over the other thousands, hundreds of thousands, however many reviews that's out there in the world. I had to figure out something different to do. That way I satisfy my need to do something creative and not be like everybody else. I satisfy our need for content as a company, and in a way I give myself a little more room. Where do people just kind of try to like find that balance for themselves?
Now I feel like the answer is kind of talking in circles. What you're saying isn't wrong. Nothing about what you're saying is wrong at all. But in terms of getting the end result, which is keeping the ecosystem going, now you run in, because once again, it's bigger than Dallas. It's bigger than Kate. It's bigger than Baron. Like we all got teams of people on our back, and there's losses that we got to take. And if that means you can't put out that pristine article, that pristine video, that pristine whatever that you really wanted within complete 100% art.
Yeah, and not saying that can't happen because I'm only even able to do what I'm doing the way I'm doing it because people like y'all make sure that that its counterpart gets out.
Yeah.
So it's not as if I'm going like everybody should do the exact same thing. I'm just saying like as far as like being creators, where do we fit? Like where is us?
That balance is not taking every game. Like that's what that balance is. That balance is only taking the things that you know that you want to produce on. Because we've run into that with our writers. I've run into it myself, more so in film and TV, because I'm already really selective of my games, so that's a lot of time. But like you have to know yourself. I will take what I will do. And then when I don't take a game for the month of May, that's my creative time. That's my balance time. That's me doing the other stuff that I want to do time. But then June comes, I'm going to take 2 codes, I'm going to get those out. Like that is something you have to like, and not you Dallas, but like whoever the hell is listening to me, like as somebody who's making content, you have to set those boundaries for yourself. Your editors can't set those for you. The game companies can't set that for you. And if you're in a situation where you can work on a team, leverage your team and communicate with them to say, I can't cover this big title. And then the editors can go and find somebody who can. And that's honestly where the balance comes in. And that's not something a lot of freelancers can do because they sustain off. Like I have a full-time job where I'm working like maybe 50 hours a week in tech. Like I can't do everything I'd love to. And my writers are a lot of the same way because this is a hobby for a lot of them. But you have to be able to communicate and say no to things. And that's probably the biggest thing. And it feels like you can't a lot of the time because you want to keep reaching up. But sometimes you just got to know when to say, I can't do this. Like, I'm not going to hit this deadline. I don't even care about this game this much. Everybody else hype for it. I don't care. I'm just not going to do it.
Really quick in the chat. Shout out to... Go ahead.
I really want to do a video for Resident Evil. But there's another game that I've been wanting to cover for like a year now, at least. And so because Resident Evil is coming out within the same month, I kind of want to, I'm probably just going to end up streaming it. You're right. That's where the balance is. Some stuff you just can't do.
Yo, really quick, shout out in the chat. We got Brap in the chat. Halo to the King. I got one day I'm gonna have to take a sabbatical, and y'all gonna have to host the show. And I'm gonna have to. I've been telling Brap since I came back from the hospital, I will be on this show, which is at the same time as ours. So one day, one of you guys gonna have to host, and I'm gonna go over at Brap, and I said Brap, and have some fun. But listen, I will say this, and I want to say a big thank you to my team, because one of the things we do have a lot is checks and balances. Because one of the issues that we had was my fault. Hey, I got a review code. What is it? Oh yeah, it's this. And I was just like, code. And Baron was like, one time Baron was like, Fame, you know what this is? I said, nope. But they sent it to us, so we need the content. And he was like, he said, watch this trailer. And I said, oh, my bad, Baron. Throw that code in the trash. Like, I didn't mean to send that to you, bro.
Remember when you hit me up and you're like, oh, what is this Lust from Beyond? Should I request a code? I was like, no, do not.
Yeah, I was like, what is? Then we had that one game. I was like, yo, it was the people who it was a developer who was on the original Mario Kart team, and I was like, okay, he was like, I was like, cool, we'll review it, send it over. And I was like, oh, it's bitches riding bitches. Like
it's little witches riding little witches.
They ride on each other back. I was like, oh, what is this?
And not in the sexy way.
They was surfing. They was doing the
You gave me 2 days to review that too.
People riding people.
Crunch.
So we're
not talking about the crunch at level 1, guys. Don't put us out there like that. I don't
Dallaz.
put crunch. I don't.
There's no crunch.
No.
There's no crunch at level 1.
Oh, everything. There's no war in boxing.
We just gonna ignore what Dallaz just posted in the meme box.
I will say to the point though, like I started handing out games. I can't do it. I'm not that organized. My husband, who's our co-founder and everything, he took that over. So he hands out all the codes. He has a system. You have up until 2 to 1 days before embargo to allow for edits. It goes up at embargo. If they give it to us a day before embargo, that's the company's fault. So you get more time to do it. And that is how we kind of organize stuff. And like at first we were the same way. Give us that code. We gotta take this code. I got all the opportunities. And now we drop trailers and we do a synopsis and put the platforms, and we tell our writers, as we have everybody sectioned off into like games, film, TV. Like everybody has their own areas that they're in with their own editors. And that's made everything a lot easier. But it's hard when you're in that I have to survive mentality. It is hard to find any sort of balance, and there's a lot of crappy games you end up having to do.
Yeah.
Listen, speaking of games that are not going to be crappy, and I'm going to go ahead and stake my claim on it. We got some, and I hope everyone watched this. We got some hella good Biomutant gameplay, in my opinion, today. So I do want to go around the room, and I'm hoping, if you haven't seen it, I do have some of it playing here on the screen. Game Informer was able to put this stuff out today. I'm almost certain Dallaz and Baron saw, because they've been covering this game. Even when no one was talking about Biomutant, like literally no one was talking about Biomutant, Level 1 was talking about Biomutant. So I do want to start.
I forgot to watch it. I'm gonna watch it right now. So go to me last.
Gotcha. So I do want to start with Dallaz, man. Dallaz, I know you saw this gameplay today.
I haven't seen this.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Hear me out, because I'm watching it right now. But I've seen literally everything since this game was first announced, right? Every little interview, every piece of media on Biomutant since this game was announced, right? So what I'm seeing right now, the only thing that's a surprise to me is the UI. Literally, that's the only thing that's a surprise to me at this point. And that's one of the things I was wondering about, like, I wonder how it look, but it fits. I mean, the bottom right look a little Fortnite-ish, but I understand, whatever. literally everything about this game is right up my alley. The style, y'all know how I feel about kung fu stuff. Like you know how I feel about like the martial arts, the type stuff. You know how I feel about like I hate to call it this, but it's what it is, the platinum game style gameplay. You know how I feel about just stuff like that. Y'all know how I'm about Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, all of that, right? So literally everything about this game is right up my alley. Is that in an open world? There's nothing about this game I've seen thus far that don't tell me I need to get it day one. Like, there's nothing I've seen about this game that tells me I don't need to like spend my money to. I mean, I missed out on the deal that y'all got with the.
Hey, don't be snitching about what we
I didn't say who y'all was. Y'all just see Guilty Dogs barked, but that ain't on me. The deal that everybody else got, but and so which means I probably won't be getting the collector's edition because like the cheap dude in me is a little salty. I'm probably gonna get that steelbook though.
Listen, let's keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Me and Baron, you got it too, right?
Dang, whoa, time out.
we got the collector edition that's supposed to be 120. We got it for 60. We got it for the price of the game. I'm gonna say it. Baron got it too because I want to say I messaged the man out the message.
It was not y'all's mistake.
I'm not doing crime with I'm not doing crime with fame.
It ain't no crime.
Officer, let me tell you something, officer. Baron did it too.
Hey, no, I did get it for the Lolo though. Yeah, that happened. But let me tell you, the one thing I am most excited about with this game is this is one of the few games that got this much because I want to say they did like an hour-long video, like deep coverages, that the game actually looks like what they said it was going to look like.
Yep.
That doesn't happen as often as we would like. We don't like this game looks like the demo from a few years ago. Like, and I mean better. Like, it looks better. The world looks better. The gameplay is everything I thought it was going to be. You got stat boosting gear. You have open environments. You have mechs. Like, I'm not seeing things stripped away because that's often what we get. We talked about Cyberpunk earlier. You know, I hate beating down on that game, but it's just a prime perfect example. There was a lot of things they showed that weren't there in the end result. But here, a lot of the things they've shown are in the end result, which makes me think that we're going to get a lot more. Like, I'm thinking there's going to be things that we didn't know. Like, look at the combos. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this.
For a reason.
Like, it's crazy. And then for me, I'm hooked on the RPG elements. Like, the dude looted up a green level gear. There was colored tiers. I mean, you know, like Outriders, all I get is purple. But you know, it's okay. I'm not hurt by Outriders.
Okay. Kay, did you get a chance to look at Biomutant when you actually in Biomutant at all?
Yeah, so I actually only know this game because a writer at our site, shout out to Charles, who's amazing. He also is like one of our like top writers just because he loves games and everything about them. He has been covering Biomutant since he's been able to. I think PAX East, like the last two PAX Easts, he's covered he's done pieces on them on Biomutant. Like everything that
What's that? I vaguely remember such a thing.
Everything that I have ever seen about Biomutant has come through him, and I have watched the trailers and I have looked at the video or looked at the images, and it is just amazing. I honestly don't know what the game is mostly, but I know that it looks adorable and I want to play it. And the footage that I have seen in every subsequent trailer or gameplay is literally like it looks like it's the same game.
Yep.
And and with as long as I do know that it's kind of been in development, that's astonishing. Like you already said, like the fact that it hasn't gone through some ridiculous overhaul, that's just amazing. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. So I can already see this being up there for Game of the Year, especially for people who have been waiting for so long for it to come out.
My only hiccup, and it has nothing to do with the gameplay that we've seen. My only hiccup is that it's going to launch with only the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and there is no PS5 Series X version of this game. So I'm always weary of, hey, is this game going to be 30 FPS? Like, I thought we were beyond that. We're going to get a game that we're all super excited for, but have to play it at 30 or sub 30 FPS. It was announced a long time ago. You're right.
I mean, I don't doubt that, you know, they'll try to do something with it later on. Like there will be some sort of patch later on.
Yeah.
But I feel like if the world wants them to do that so bad, throw them some money.
Oh, they got my money.
Let it be a success, and then, you know, for real.
He said they got my money for the low.
Just the fact that I've seen this game. I've been, like I said, since it was announced, I've been paying attention to it, right? And I've seen this game get progressively better looking. I've seen them like trickle in more mechanics off and on, like, and it's always stuff that fits. Like just a second ago, y'all saw those the puzzle, right? Like the breaker box puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all tuned into any of my streams and seen me play games like Onimusha, you know I love shit like that. That weird, frustrating, boring because I'm just staring at the screen and y'all waiting on me to figure it out type stuff. Like, who would have guessed that would have fit in here like that?
Look at
I've seen at least 5 different mounts thus far before the game even released, right? I've seen powers that you could use to traverse the world. It's just there's so much here,
and that's also it's going to be on PC.
So perfectly, I'm not gonna ask for nothing else that you're not willing to give me.
I want to be that guy because what you're saying, 100% agree. The gameplay looks amazing. Day one, love it. But look at like the stuff we see with the foliage and all that stuff. Like I'm like, yo, this is definitely running on PC. This is definitely PC gameplay. I am concerned, Bucko, on what the console version is, how it's going to look and how it's going to run. I'm not going to front. I'm buying the game day one. I'm waiting for. I hope Amazon mess up and send my collector's edition early. I hope they make a mistake. I'm just so worried about how it's going to look and run because I'm sorry, that can no matter how great a game is, that stuff can ruin it. Like a frame issue can ruin an experience. Not completely ruin it, but for me, it takes me out. When I'm in a fight scene, I'm doing all these type of moves and I'm killing multiple enemies and I'm dropping down at like 15, 16 FPS because there's a lot going on. That's what I'm concerned about being on the like Outriders.
Game with this type of combat, 60 frames is in your head is bare minimum, right?
Yeah. So are you worried that it's going to be playing on the PS4 and Xbox One, or is this I want it to be at the Series X and PS5 standards, or it, because I guess for me it's just kind of like, what is the expectation that the company is setting? Well, because that's the only thing they're beholden to.
They're telling you it's PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah. And I guess part of me was hoping that there was a PS5 Series X version day one, because we're literally going to be playing. I'm going to be playing the base Xbox One version on my Series X. And the Series X will automatically try to make the game more stable. So if it's 30 FPS on the OG fat boy Xbox One, the Series X going to make the 30 FPS more stable. But that's my concern, is that a game like this, we've been anticipating for so long. It was announced a long time ago. That looks beautiful. What we're seeing is not going to be what we're going to be playing on our consoles, because we're not, and they may release a Series X patch in a year, but am I gonna be playing it at that point? Like, will there be DLC to make me go back and play it?
I personally think the game is gonna be very optimized. I think we're gonna be seeing end of the generation. You know how it always seems like the best games always come out towards the tail end, right at that merge point, but then they get kind of washed and left behind because they're trying to port them over to the new console. I think because they're avoiding doing that up front, we're going to get top tier peak performing. So at least is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, because the problem with CD Projekt Red was, not to bring up Cyberpunk again, but they released it on the Series X and PS5s when they shouldn't have. And that's why it was terrible. One One of the problems was that they released it on consoles that they shouldn't have released it on. They should have tailored this is the experience you're gonna get, and it plays best on the older gen, because that's what it was developed for. What I, at least in hopeful hearing you all kind of contextualize it for me, is that they're going in by saying this is the bare minimum that we are going to hit, and it leaves that ceiling a little bit higher, where they're not jumping in and saying, oh, we're perfect for your Series X and your PS5. They're just saying, we live over here, but I bet you they optimized it for the next piece up. They just, I guess, like, for me, is like, I would rather take somebody who has told you what it is and doesn't deliver on the new gen than something that launches on the new gen and promises you an experience and then can't deliver on the new gen. But I do kind of share your concern that if somebody gets it and plays it on their new gen console, they're going to dip out of it and be done with the franchise because it's not good, because it takes them out of it because the combat's not fluid and that kind of stuff.
Hugger? Uh-oh, what happened? The meme box isn't up right now. So if it's up on the meme box, I may want to stop on the memes, because right now I got video playing, so the meme box ain't up. Just putting that out there.
Let Demi keep going, because he's...
Meme is fired, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
You know, I play Assassin's Creed, so I'm all for busy work games, and you can use a bow, so I'm not day one, because Canada... Returnal is $90 here. I ain't paying day one for anything, but I will play it eventually.
Yeah.
$90
for a game that you can't save
without shipping. Because I have Prime, shipping is free, so I can't imagine what shipping would be if you didn't have Prime.
Xbox Game Pass. I don't care about PlayStation exclusives now.
We haven't had one guest that wasn't a fan of Xbox Game Pass on this podcast. Everyone loves Xbox Game Pass.
If you want to actually make the industry for people to come into it who are low income, who are from a marginalized background, who can come in and get in like when they're young versus when they're an adult making their own paycheck, like all of my friends, that's how you diversify the industry. And that's what Game Pass is going to do when you look at the big thing. The other thing is I don't got to buy shitty games anymore. And that's the real winner here.
Outriders is more fun because I didn't pay extra.
I wouldn't go as far as to say I don't care about PlayStation exclusives, because they usually make stuff that's the type of stuff I want to play.
What
But
exclusives?
right,
They're all coming to Game Pass.
PlayStation Plus.
I don't play a lot of single player games. So PlayStation exclusives for me kind of don't mean anything, because I play with my husband all the time. So it's either co-op or multiplayer, and that's kind of like what we roll into. If I was a PlayStation person, I could understand. Like, I understand why they're good games, not dissing any of their games. But from an economic standard, I'm not paying $90 for a game. I'm not paying $70 for a game.
I'll give you this. I'm a big single player person, right? So that's probably why it's still kind of important to me. But I barely touch my PlayStation now. Crazy.
That man a whole lot.
I probably played it a little more recently than I have in like since I got an Xbox. But Game Pass is legit, and I'm right there with you on everything you said about Game. I don't want to make this the Game Pass show like it is every week at this point, because this is what we
really do fit in.
Yep.
Man, this is what we talk about. But like Baron said, Outriders is more fun because I didn't have to pay full price for it.
You know, I will say this about really fast on Biomutant before we have to move on. The character creation, I didn't expect for it to be deep at all. I'm definitely digging the character creation screen. Like the customizations with different, different things you want, how you want them to be resistant to start the game out. The different styles. I didn't expect it to have that many different styles. Like the character creation for this game is dope, and I can't wait to go in there and play with it when this game comes out.
You can't wait. Never mind. The only thing that's a surprise to me that I'm seeing so far is the UI, and I'm digging it. Like, I really am. Only real thing is probably like the comic effects when you hit somebody. That was already in there. But I don't think any of the other stuff was finalized yet. I'm digging it. Like, this is absolutely a day when, I mean, code or no code, I'm probably still gonna buy it at this point.
Yeah.
Indeed. Snips, Hug, anything before we hop off of Biomutant?
Hugger, would you like to go first? You got nothing?
I'm
Nothing?
good.
Looks cool. Huge diversity of environments. Look fun. The combat, as far as switching between like ranged combat, melee weapons, and abilities, seems pretty seamless, which is cool.
That's right. The Cypher, that's gonna be my character right there. He looks
worried about it on One X and PS4. This really looks like it should be played on a PS5 or Series X or PC.
Yep.
So that's my only concern. Aside from that, everything looked kind of cool. I will say I don't know if y'all picked up on this. When you look at the loot, so there's a loot rarity. Then there's also, what was it? A condition. What did they call it?
I missed that part. I'll have to go back and look at it.
So it was like rare, whatever, but then or quality. So it was rarity, quality, and then there's material as well. So they're gonna make you farm the heck out of some stuff, man. Trying to get not only the top rarity, but the top condition and the top material too. Unless condition you can improve by
as long as there's not
three things.
I don't want to
deterioration. Jesus.
Either I'm gonna have to do a lot more exploring, I'm gonna have to engage in a lot more combat, or both.
As long as it's not like farming the same thing over and over again.
Or as long as it's not the deterioration system where, hey, this weapon broke, this gear broke, you want to fix it? I hate that, bro. Like, that'll ruin a game for me, bro. Like, that will ruin a game for me. I'm just putting it out there. I don't want to fix my weapon.
Baron, I don't get the reference. What the hell is that?
Orange
Jesus? No, the Doge meme.
Oh, no, that's Bayonetta.
No.
Listen, hey, I know we got a couple more topics to go to, and I don't want to drag Kate away for something that she has important to do tonight. So listen, I'm going to drop her links in the description down below to her website, to her Twitter handle. Make sure you guys gonna follow her. She is a fellow Texan, so we automatically love her. Kate, anything before you head out? We can also, if you want us to, we can put the link to your Discord. You guys do some amazing things in there. So just drop all of that to me on Twitter. Drop up in my DM, and I can put all that stuff in there for us.
Awesome.
She's a married woman.
not if Lady Demetra Screw, whatever her name is, walking there. She's gonna be married at that point.
Demetra Screw is right.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at OhMyMythRandier. I mainly shitpost every now and again. I have some pretty cool takes on things, I think, sometimes. And you can follow us at ButWhyThoughPC on Twitter to see all of our work. Recently, I had, like I mentioned, interview with Sam and Adam Dietz, the directors in Castlevania. I had a couple of Castlevania pieces go up as well, and then we'll have a review for that when it comes out. I almost made a mistake. I'll have it when that comes out in the near future. And then we do community events in our Discord every week. We do watch parties, binge parties. We're actually going to be binge watching all of Castlevania on the 15th on a Sunday. So, come have brunch, maybe sit in there while you're hungover from your Saturday with us and watch some stuff. That's at discord.gg/butwhythough. We do a bunch of cool stuff in there. Pretty much everything under the sun when it comes to pop culture. So yeah, I don't even know if that was a good outro, but that's the stuff I do in the links.
It was cool. Kate, we have to have you on again. Maybe on a night to not do the new night so we can hold you hostage.
Always down, yeah.
And once COVID decides it wants to disappear, I know we're going to be at the same conventions and stuff, so can't wait to hang out and have a good time. It was dope meeting you, and you guys have fun watching Resident Evil.
Yes.
I'm joining Discord because I'm watching this shit.
Yes. Seriously though, let me know. I will be on anytime. Always looking for places. So
awesome. Thank you, Kate. Have a wonderful
night.
Bye.
Good night.
So listen, we do have a few more topics I do want to hit on. First is we got, after they decided to not be purchased by Microsoft, Discord is going to has a partnership starting now and be integrated early next year with PlayStation. And from what it looks like and what I'm hearing, this is actually a deeper integration than what Discord currently is on Xbox, to where it sounds like we may actually get Discord chats in PlayStation, on PSN, PlayStation Network. So I want to get the panel's thoughts on how big of a dub that is. Because I'm sorry, man. When we gaming, we in Discord.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll start since I'm talking too damn much. But I think this is a big win because first I have to say I'm still living in the Stone Ages. I don't have a PlayStation 5. We need a soundboard, so it's like, boo this man, boo. Like, but
I don't have
man,
one yet.
we are
I see
here.
no reason to.
Thank you. But
same with the Series X. I ain't discriminating. My
Bro,
PC is doing me just fine right now. I'm not in a rush to get a next gen console.
I'm in that same boat. So, but in terms of making any type of positive adjustment to the PlayStation like chat, anything is better than what I was used to dealing with when it came to that PS4. I haven't experienced on PS5, but I hear complaints are very similar. It takes forever. It's not the most reliable thing out there, and it's not the best sounding thing out there. So at this point, I say it's a very, 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 very huge win. And I mean, look what we're using right now. We're in Discord now, so it's only more integration. I mean, nobody wants to jump in game and party chat anyway.
Facts. Like I think somebody sent me a party chat on Xbox Live, and I was like, bro, just hop on Discord. Like, the quality is bad. It's terrible. But I do want to get the rest of the panel's thoughts on Discord being on PS5. And look at you, Baron. Don't be trying to flex out here.
It's great.
RTX on.
Activate.
It's great. If Discord works great as a voice chat service for when you're gaming, and for hanging out. So if they're going to implement that into PS5 or PlayStation Network or whatever it is, and take some of the load off them for them having to worry about it, awesome. Nothing but good things. If it ends up becoming, I didn't read the full thing. If it ends up becoming like you can browse the servers and chat and stuff too.
I doubt
see that as
I doubt a full integration.
Yeah. I feel like the text part of it I don't really care about, but even if it's just the voice integration and even perhaps video integration, if you want to link a webcam up or something, awesome. I see nothing bad about this.
Now, heck, if you're able to all of a sudden, let me go jump in the level 1 Discord and I could be in different channels and like a full Discord, that's a big dub. I just don't see that deep of an integration. Like
that, I don't think that would work well on console either. You'd really want like a keyboard and a mouse to navigate through all that kind of stuff. Which
these consoles, especially Xbox, keep pushing toward that mouse and keyboard. Just like you can, if you got at the invite and you have an OG Xbox One. Whenever they update the blades, you can stream Xbox games on your Xbox One through the browser, and they'll play better than what the Xbox One can. Hilarious.
Hey, I don't want to say this too loud because there's some people who may be upset about this. I'm just going to whisper quietly. But a console is really just a very specific computer. It's basically a PC.
Does the church know about this?
They know, but they ain't telling anybody. They hide all their. We don't want to get into that. They do weird stuff. But yeah, I don't see like, and I don't think, was there any mention of exclusivity in this partnership? I don't think.
No, because they have a current thing going on with Xbox, but that integration isn't deep. It's more about, hey, I can see you're on, a certain game if you're.
And I'm sure that will just mean that Microsoft, who already expressed an interest in Discord, obviously, will just kind of.
Well, Sony bought ownership stake. They bought.
I didn't know.
Sony bought ownership stake in Discord, so that's why.
It's not majority stake.
No. It's a minor stake, but I don't think Microsoft has a stake in Discord. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. So that's how I know can really see. I don't want to say no for a fact because that's a lie. But the integration has to be deeper than what's on Xbox because Sony actually has millions invested into the company, unlike Microsoft. Just putting that out there. It seemed like once Kate left, like the energy died in the room. Like Kate,
Kate.
Wait, when did that
my
happen?
angry rant to be honest with you.
Oh, wait a minute. Angry rant.
I'm ready for the rant.
Do we want to do that?
We need
to save it. It's like it's already past 8 o'clock.
Can we?
No, do it.
Hey, Dallas, can we create like it snips? He's mad as hell. It snips. He's pissed off. It snips.
All right, and I'm gonna try not to swear too. This is gonna be very difficult for me because I'm kind of heated about all this. So I'm really just disappointed in video games in general. Over the past couple months, maybe year or two even. And we've talked about this before, the whole over-promise, under-deliver model, people releasing games that aren't finished is just becoming more and more common. And I've reached kind of like a boiling point with it lately because and I'll give you an example outside of gaming. Okay, so this is food-related service. I got some bagels. I got some bagels a couple weeks ago from Einstein Bros, right?
I love Einstein Bros.
One of them had like a weird cut to it. I guess like because they all put them in a machine that slices everything. I guess it was sitting funny, so it like cut it at a weird angle. So I was like, obviously, I'm not really upset. The bagel's still a bagel. It's still gonna taste delicious. I can put cream cheese on it somehow. I ain't worried about it. But I decided to make like haha funny tweet. I was like, hey, Einstein Bros, I just want to talk. Twitter account responds immediately. 30 minutes later, I have a general manager for the area for that store emailing me saying, man, I apologize. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, whoa, man, like I was not trying, like I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or anything. I was just making a funny tweet.
What
like,
is this, Chick-fil-A?
But yeah, they were like, I'm so sorry. We need to make sure we're up to a certain quality. Here's an offer for, a free half dozen bagels next time you visit us. I'm not going to use it. I'm so blown away by their customer service, which is something I'm going to get to later. This is going to come full circle. Customer service is important. I'm so blown away by their customer service that the next time I go there, I will gladly pay full price for whatever I'm going to get. I'm not even going to bother bringing up that code ever again. I never expected to get anything. The product itself was still fine. I thought it was a funny cut, and so I did the I just want to talk meme thing. And they took it above and beyond. Excellent example of customer service. Flip side of that, a week later, I order food from Mr. Beast Burger. Some of you may have seen this tweet. My experience was absolutely horrible. The food was disgusting. There was a hair in my burger that was about that long. I cannot explain to you how hard I had not to try not to vomit at my desk as I'm eating my lunch when I take a bite and then I see that hair sticking out of the burger. I threw it away immediately. Fries were undercooked garbage. They called them seasoned fries. They just put salt on them. So again, I go to Twitter. This time I'm rightfully upset. You did not deliver what you advertised. You made a terrible job of producing your product that your brand should care about. I get a response from the Twitter account, which their support Twitter is different from the brand Twitter account, which is already a bit of a flag. And here's what their response was. Hey, can you get our contact information? Email us, blah, blah, blah. I give them my email. All I get is, we've passed this information along to upper management so that they know. No real apology, no offering of anything to try and correct the mistake, which is fine because I wouldn't bother going back to any of those establishments ever again. This whole ghost kitchen crap is ridiculous. But I think it's stupid that you're going to put your name, Mr. Beast. I don't like you. I got to be honest. I've never seen any of your content.
Who actually makes his burger?
It's ghost kitchens, man. They find other food places in the area that are looking for extra money, and they say, hey, we'll send you ingredients. You accept orders for us every now and again, but nobody's held accountable. The kitchen makes crappy food. They send it out, and all you get is the Twitter reply, oh, our bad. We'll work on it. And that's it. And they move on. They got your money. They don't care. No refunds, no nothing. So I don't know anything about you as a person, Mr. Beast, okay? But your brand that represents you is on this food, and the food was shit. So I don't like you. My service was terrible, and my food was terrible. So I'm holding you accountable for that because there's nothing else I can do. All right? That's food. There's a food example. Moving on to video games, okay? In the past few months, we've had Cyberpunk, which launched with so many bugs that 6 months after the game, a massive patch was released that you had to spend 30 minutes to read all the stuff that they're fixing. And this is the 4th or 5th patch among others. And I still don't think it's fully 100% what it's supposed to be. So that's crap. Then you get Returnal is out right now, right? Returnal's out right now. This is a game that was designed without a save feature, right? That's part of the mechanic. That's part of the game itself. I get that. But if you're going to release a game like that makes failing and dying, highly, highly critical to my success and my continued enjoyment in this game, but then people are experiencing crashes in the middle of a 3 to 4 hour run, your game's going to crash and wipe out everything I've done? That's not okay. That's a huge heckin' problem because you're taking that entire amount of time I've invested in your game, wiping it out to nothing.
$70.
That's not okay. That's a $70 game. And I guarantee you, anyone who contacted support, all support says was, we'll let the devs know that there's a problem. Thanks for sending us a message.
You can make more money.
They sent out a patch. The patch made more issues and went back to the other version.
And so people don't think I'm picking on any specific console or anything either. Outriders. Same thing. Yeah. They had a massive glitch that wiped out people's inventories. You make me invest 10, 20, 30, 40 hours into this game, grinding, gaining levels, gaining gear, all this awesome loot, and then a simple glitch corrupts it and wipes everything? And this is the same. So with Cyberpunk 2, the biggest glitch that got me was the one that if your save file exceeded a certain file size, it would corrupt itself and it was not recoverable. How do you put that into a game? How do you say, if you play my game too much, if you do too many things, your save file is going to go wonky and that's it for you? Sorry, start over. Play the game different, I guess. So that, Cyberpunk, Returnal with problems, Outriders with problems, which I will say out of all of them so far, it seems Outriders is I haven't seen anybody who had the glitch fixed, or if they started implementing that yet.
I don't know if they're fixed.
Give people stuff back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
the
that's
word is that once they get the fix, the people who were affected are going to get some extra compensation, and they're going to get
not really. They're going to re-roll the stuff that you had, so your item may become legendary. But to be honest, if you're not in the end game, that means nothing. You can get a legendary at the beginning of the game, and you might as well throw it away because it means nothing.
So then scratch that. They suck too.
Yeah.
And then the latest one that affected me personally, MLB The Show.
Ooh.
Baseball game. Guarantee you, if I went back and played 20, pretty much the exact same frickin' game. You really don't change much with these sports games from year to year. Okay. So this is a game that y'all have made for the past decade where it changes every single year. The game mode, the primary game mode that I'm interested in anyway, is the Road to the Show, where you make your pro, your young athlete that's going to break into the scene. I played through AA, I played through AAA, got the call up to the majors, got injured, which you can't turn injuries off as far as I could see, by the way.
Damn.
It's stupid. So if you catch a career-ending injury, 4 years into this game or 4 years into the career you've started, screw you, start over. There's all kinds of bugs. They have these loadout systems because I was a two-way player, right? Played shortstop and starting pitcher. So naturally, because there's gear and stuff that you have to equip to boost your stats, because as a created player, all your abilities, the max you can grow them to is 50. Which is like the same like a Madden scale, 0 to 99. You can grow stuff to 50. Any growth beyond that, which takes forever, by the way, to grow stuff to 50. Any growth beyond that has to be done with equipment that you unlock and get through packs and stuff like that.
RPG?
To boost your stats even more. Like these Nike cleats make me +10 for speed or some crap, right? So that's a stupid system, first and foremost, that I'm relying on RNG pulls for gear to make my guy better. Half the time those loadouts didn't work. You would select the different loadout when I went to start the new game, and sometimes it would give me the stat boost, sometimes it wouldn't, so my character's performance is affected. Despite all of this crap, I'm having fun, okay? Because I'm enjoying working on my character, getting through the games, and it's very difficult for me to find a game outside of stream that I can pick up and put down easily, play in little bursts, and not feel like I'm ruining the experience. So I'm actually invested in this, okay? I probably put 30+ hours into this game. I'm playing it the other night, go to save my file because I don't care that it auto-saves. I manually save, always, every time at the end of my play sessions. Error message pops up. My save file disappears from the list. It corrupted my save file and removed it. I go to the cloud save, okay? Because I have a cloud backup, right? Xbox does that. It's smart. It's a really smart thing. Go to download my cloud save, error message from my cloud save. It won't download my cloud save. I've tried it twice since then. It still won't work. So now all this time that I've invested into this character is gone for nothing. So I email MLB The Show support, and just like with Mr. Freaking Beastburger, because customer service doesn't exist with these companies anymore, we've messaged the developers to let them know about your issue. Thanks. No apology, no attempt to make anything right, no offer of something to keep me invested in this game that you just screwed. I put a work week into your game, and I have nothing to show for it now because it's all gone. I'm not starting over. I'm going to try maybe 1 or 2 more nights. I'm going to try maybe 1 or 2 more nights to download my cloud save. If it doesn't work, I'm uninstalling that shit. I'm never playing it again. I am so beyond myself. Like, the game's failing is one thing. I try and be understanding of all the rigors and stuff that developers have to go through. But when on top of that, your entire customer service and support experience is okay, we'll let them know. I'm done with you. F off. I hate you. You're stupid. Now I'm pissed. And that's what I've been boiling on for this past week, because all I wanted to do was play this dang game, man. I just wanted to do what you made this game for, and I can't because it doesn't work right, and it's entirely your fault, but I'm the only one who suffers for it. So there we go. There's my rant. I want to break things, man. It's so upsetting.
That is completely, totally, and entirely understandable. Because goddamn.
Anyone want to drop in on the Returnal bugs before we get to our suggestions and get out of here? Because I know that pissed off a lot of people.
And that's just in a game where you're not going to allow people to save. You need to be extra certain that your stuff is solid, dude. Because that's
just
just
the problem. You can't save, and they don't have, like, look at Dead Cells, probably one of the best indie, roguelike. They have platforms in between where it saves it. Good God. Snips is right. I couldn't get it out.
I just entirely frustrating to me. Like, y'all spent years working on this, and something so obvious, something so glaring, like the Cyberpunk file size thing. You had a massive studio working on this thing for close to a freaking decade, and nobody looked at it and thought, maybe we should give them more than, what was it, like freaking 8 megabytes of file size?
Tiny.
Yeah.
And then when I guarantee you, if I would have emailed them to be like, you corrupted my save file because you made your game improperly and I lost all this progress I put into the game, they'd be like, well, we'll let them know about it. Thanks for messaging us.
Yep.
Basically, bend over and just go F yourself is what they're telling you to do. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep. And I don't give these devs a pass because some people are like, oh, COVID is like, no, the games that are coming out have been, like Cyberpunk, in development for 8 to 10 years already. They're just, what we're seeing now.
For delays, it can't be a reason for mistakes.
Exactly. What we'll see COVID affecting games in probably 4 or 5 years. That's when we'll start seeing COVID actually affect it. Right now, the games are done. Delays, whatever, but man, somebody please clip that because his rant, not wrong, and it's not a rant, it's speaking the truth.
Stop about it, man. That it is. I can't stress to you guys how hard it is for me to find a game to play.
We're gonna put up a whole video just on that rant.
That's so quick to put down. That works in little bursts like that, and I was actually, in spite of all the bullcrap with the game that wasn't working, I was having fun. It was good, and then just nope, gone. All your progress. Peace.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hustle say that's the best rant of the week. We might need to make a whole. It snips. He's mad as hell. It snips. He's pissed as hell. It snips.
I mean,
we're gonna make it happen.
Okay?
I'll do that. Reasonable.
Let's make it happen.
More than reasonable. You don't get angry. Usually, you're very logical. All you're demanding is, hey, be better and have transparency. And again, be better. And they don't even want to strive to that.
At the very bare minimum, if your game is gonna mess up, and it's nothing to do with anything I did, maybe start with an apology, tiny bit, and maybe try and take some form of action some kind of action. I don't care if they would have been like, oh, we'll give you a code for, 2 card packs or something.
Yeah, anything.
At least you tried to do something to say, we messed up. We acknowledge that we messed up. Here's what we can do for you in return. Instead of, damn, we'll let them know.
You see that? You said in the comment section, Snips needs a weekly segment since he doesn't headline his own show. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Listen. Any thoughts on Returnal before we get to? Hey, it's Snips. He's.
These crashes.
Demi had some things to say about Returnal. Where did he put that?
Oh yeah.
He put it in there. So, his overall positive experience for him. He's about 10 to 13 hours in, getting close to the third boss. He likes the roguelike gameplay, Metroidvania level design, and arcade style gunplay. He likes that the enemies are constantly shifting and challenging, keeps him on his toes. He likes the lore through the audio logs and the language ciphers so far. And then like the kind of horror-y elements of it as well. Overall, very positive. It seems he hasn't experienced any crashes or bugs so far. Awesome. I hope it remains that way for him. So it's a classic case of, hey, when your game works, it's kind of fun.
It's just got to work.
It's got to work.
It just works.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. More transparency is what I want from these companies moving forward. Like we've all, I don't know if we've all signed up for it, but there's a program, and I've told anybody I know about this. It's the GTBN or I can't remember what it is.
Global
but it's a
Beta Test
program.
Network.
Yes. And as soon as you get into there and you have some empathy for the devs once you start doing beta tests, but then you realize, oh, they really don't care, because there's a couple games that were on there and I was like, oh, they wasted my time because they didn't take any of the some of them 10 hours I was doing.
They only care until the funds hit their account. Once they have your money, all of the shits that they give go right out the window. You want to ask for a refund? Sure, all of you won't. So we'll let a couple of you get your money back. But we don't care. We've made our fortune. Our investors are happy. We've paid everyone. Screw off. That's the vibe you get from 90% of these companies nowadays.
Yep.
All right. We're going to go around the room. Floor Hugger, we're going to start with your suggestions for this week, love. What you got?
For games, you guys know I like to give you 2 options. Alan Wake. There's only like 10 days left for Game Pass, so go play it before it leaves. The same with Final Fantasy 9 and Octopath Traveler, because if you don't start that game and you try to start it while it's leaving Game Pass, you are going to run out of time. Octopath Travelers. I've only started with Cyrus so far, and I can't wait to dive into more. Shows. Watch the Marvel shows. You should have enough. There's WandaVision and Captain America right now. Watch them because Loki is now coming out on the 9th, so there's going to be tons of stuff. And what the hell is that movie? Black Widow's coming out on the July 11th, so there's going to be tons of Marvel stuff. And for movies, because I'm a cheesy hoe, go watch Battleship. It's not great, but it's got Rihanna, and it's kind of cool.
While he throwing down over there, he not chewing at the moment, so we're gonna get him next. D, what you got this week? My man
Dallas
be eating.
Dallas enjoyed my rant. I gave him time to eat.
It ain't 2 XP if Dallas not eating. It's not 2 XP if he's not eating.
And I got this. I take too long to explain what this is, but look, I know y'all heard me talk about this 1,000 times, but go watch Invincible, man. Also, don't just watch Invincible, because this is, even though I always said Invincible is one of those cases where, like, you know how, with everything else, the book is usually better. Mm-hmm. Invincible is one of those cases where the book and the show is kind of hand in hand right now. However, this is made by the same people that did Walking Dead, including a couple of the actors, right?
Yep, a lot of actors are voice acting in there.
And the book is Image Comics, right? Also, Glenn is playing Mark, like the dude that played Glenn, he's playing Mark. So, and it's basically one of those things where it's like hand in hand. It's just as good right now, but just like they did with the Walking Dead comic in the show, at some point they're gonna split off and shit's gonna get different. go read the book because it's 100,000% worth your time. It's a pretty long series, but it's 100,000% worth your time. I mean that. Now, while we reading good ass comic books, yes, most of my suggestions today are comic books. I really haven't shown that side of myself on level 1, but I'm a comic dude for real. Go read Fables. If you played Wolf Among Us and you liked Wolf Among Us and you thought it was fire, you ain't seen shit. This is one of those cases where the book is way better. Even though the game is great, the book is way better than the game. Big B Wolf is a gangster, man. Like, for real. In the greatest sense. And also, when's what?
When's the second one coming out?
The second game? Oh, I don't even know yet.
I want Wolf Among Us 2. I want it.
We need Wolf Among Us 2 because the story gets so good. Also, while we're talking about comics, and if you enjoy Invincible and you see that gore, you see the violence, but it's also framed in a way that you can stomach it because it's about something and it's happening for a reason. I feel like I already talked about this, but go read Garth Ennis's Preacher. Yes, there was a show made. Show's all right. Book is way better. Preacher is literally about a preacher. Yeah, big surprise, right? It's about a preacher who is sort of kind of losing his faith in God. He basically only a preacher because his daddy was a preacher or whatever. And long story short, he ends up getting the power of God, the literal power of God, like the word of God. He says something and it happens. He tells somebody to do something, whether it's against their will or not, they have to do it. He did something. Well, I'm not gonna say what he did, but it's great, right? So basically that happens, and he finds out that not basically it's part of the reason that it's happening, and part of what's going on is the fact that God just up and left heaven, like, all right, deuces. And he still got some stuff that he needs to like see what's up about. So he goes on a journey to literally find God. I mean, maybe because he wants to beat him up, but he goes on a journey to literally find God. And this is one of the best books you're gonna read. I'm not gonna say it's better than Fables. I'm not gonna say it's better than Invincible, but it's right there neck and neck with them. So if you like comics, if you don't like comics, and you just like gory shit, like where people say bad words and fight a lot, it's right up your alley.
Okay, I'm about to hit you up about that. Citizen Snips. What you got, brother?
So my game was gonna be MLB The Show. You know how that worked out. So no, I can't recommend that.
Down Cataclysm.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. If I had a video game, I'm gonna say y'all should go play Call of Duty Warzone. For one simple reason, that's what my community tournament is in my Discord this month. So I'll be playing it. You should play it too. It's free. It's massive, but it's free. So that's cool. If you got the hard drive space, throw it on there, play a couple games. Why not? Enjoy yourself. Should be fun. Frag out with the homies. Movie. If you have the ability to, if it's still in theaters, if you can go see Mugen Train, the new Demon Slayer.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been in quarantine for a month.
See it. It is really, really great. And on top of that, I didn't know this ahead of time because I'm bad at doing my research about all this kind of stuff. But it actually does cover manga material. So it is essential to kind of the story's progression. So if you don't watch it when the new season airs, whenever that is, you're going to have some blanks you need to fill in. So you will want to watch it for sure as soon as you can. Plus, it's just really good. It's really
I think I'm going to go watch it this weekend.
Really well done.
We know one of the voice actors. He was on the show.
We be doing stuff here, you know. We doing stuff.
And then anime is one I started watching. It was one that started airing with the new season. It's called 86. Sometimes it's written as the number and the word, like 86, 86. But 86 is the anime. Kind of a futuristic, war-themed kind of deal. if you guys ever watched Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, I'm getting Iron-Blooded Orphans vibes from this anime, which is a good thing. But it's more on the serious side. It's got a little bit of kind of darkness to it. I don't want to give away kind of the spoiler. It reveals something pretty critical to the plot itself in the first few episodes that makes it a little bit more interesting. But I would definitely recommend giving that a watch. It looks like it's only slated for 11 episodes. I believe 3 are currently available to watch. So check that out when you can.
All right, B, it's on you, brother.
Okay, so gaming wise, I've been slogging through Outriders.
Without me,
Don't pick a Devastator, but play Outriders. I almost don't want to play no more because my character seems irrelevant.
He lying. We're gonna be outright when he come back from his vacation. Don't let Brandon lie to y'all.
And then anime wise, I would say Your Lie in April. It's an older one, but it's full of drama. Like I've been hooked on these like rom-com and like heart tugs and tearjerker animes. And yeah, Your Lie in April is up there. It's a kid who lost his love for music, and he finds a girl who plays violin, and she kind of drags him back into the musical world. He was like a savant, and now he's getting back into it, and that's without cheapening it. That's without ruining it. It's kind of the premise. Your Lie in April, and then The Magicians. The entire series is on Netflix. You please go watch it. It's dope. I would say it is Harry Potter meets
Sex.
Degrassi.
I was just about to say, don't do nothing in that show but have sex.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
with magic, okay?
yeah,
Magic sex.
They take a new approach to male enhancement.
It's not as much sex as I mean, whatever.
That's like
That's
every
more sex than Game of
every-
Thrones, and that's saying something.
Every TV show that's
that
made
it's
for
not.
adults
I
has
will-
just cat sex everywhere nowadays. That's how it is.
But The Magician's on Netflix. I want to say it's like 4 or 5 seasons. I heard
I
that
didn't
the
know
book
that.
is not that good. So like I've seen somebody online say, I don't know how the hell they pulled that great show out of that book.
Because the book
you
didn't
saying-
have the sex scenes, bro.
Are you saying this is one of the few instances where the show is better than the book?
That's what I've read amongst the reviews, because I was getting ready to listen to the audiobooks because of how much I enjoyed the show. So I could only assume the book was going to be better. And like the first 5 comments, yeah, if you came here because of the show, don't do it. But yeah, that's my recommendations. Like, go ahead and struggle through Outriders and be everything but a Devastator, so you can actually compete.
Listen, I see some new names in the chat tonight. You guys are freaking awesome for coming through. Some new names, some old names. If you're new to the show and you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a whole lot. I promise you, we appreciate everyone who comes through. For the people who've been rocking with us since day one, man, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys. Listen, we got a couple of awesome guests coming up over the next couple of weeks, man. We have a game developer. We have a CEO. We got some names coming up. I think you guys are going to enjoy the content. Remember, Mondays, it's coming back, I promise you, but 15 Minutes of Fame. Tuesday, College in the Machine. Wednesday, Double XP Podcast. Tomorrow, Thursday, Take Two Podcast. Friday, Peep Game Podcast. Saturday, Ready Press Play. And on Sunday, we rest. And I will say this, we do have another show coming. We have another show coming that I'm super excited about. And my one suggestion for the week, and it's only I only have a suggestion because of Baron, because I saw him playing and made me play it. Rain on Your Parade. It's just stupid fun.
It is.
It's stupid fun. It's on Game Pass. It's go play it. If you're not looking to be competitive, you just want to sit back and have some stupid fun and be an asshole cloud. Then go play.
Yeah.
You be an asshole
Don't
cloud.
forget,
Literally ran
Saturday, Fame did say it's Ready Press Play, but Saturday's Ready Press Play is episode 69. So
Oh,
you know how we do it.
and we will
Level
be.
1, y'all know what this is.
Just to give you guys a heads up, we will be recording a developer interview on Saturday. Not sure when it's going to air, but we'll be recording a developer interview this Saturday for a game that I'm super looking forward to. That wrote an article on, then people actually was digging and got more traction on the developers, and they were excited about that. So make sure you guys better look up. We got the developer interview coming. We got some developer coming on the podcast. We got CEOs coming on the podcast. We got a lot of stuff coming in level 1. Listen, if you go to lv1gaming.com, get your gaming news there, movies, TVs, anime, entertainment. It's all there for you. Give us a chance. If you're watching the show, hit the like button, share the stream out. We do shows 6 days a week. We have 6 shows, and there are more to come. You guys were awesome, because with all of that said, congratulations. You guys are leveled up to 153. This was the Double SP Podcast. We see you guys next week. Peace.
Bonne nuit.